So I thought I'd talk to you today about underemployment, how to get out of it, what that actually takes. I run a brand called Secret Rules of Career Success. Some of you are familiar with it, and of course a lot of the stuff that we've posted on requisite reading is, frankly, to deal with this. And there's some things to know about underemployment that are important. The first thing, this all comes from Warren Kinston. If you haven't heard about Warren yet, you're new to me. I used to work for Warren in a company called Thrill. It's a Melbourne-based startup. We lost a lot of our funding in the downturn, even though we knew it was coming and we kind of predicted it. Look, even people who have forewarning can be stupid about what they do. But he's got some really great stuff that he's developed, and he's put it together. I'm going to tell you a little bit, one of the many, many frameworks he has, and what they're for is for people to reflect upon and understand greater about their problems, about the situations that they're in. He says that if you have a problem with underemployment, the first thing you need to do is know it. And you have to know really what the underemployment is. There are two frameworks that he has, and one of them is called domains of work. We've talked a little bit about that. So you have to know whether or not you're in the right field's one way to look at it. It's a little bit obtuse, but he really means work domains. And there are ones like regular organizational life, that's what most people are in. Disciplinary life, those are your knowledge workers. There is what he calls societal institutions. Those tend to be people who are a bit political, either politicians themselves. Journalists work in societal institutions because they're working for the fourth estate, right? So it's a societal institution. Then there's philosophies of life, which is kind of people who are answering the question of how then shall we live. This is actually my work domain. Hellishly difficult to find work in that. The next one up is, well, there you got me. I don't remember what the next one up is. I think it's spiritualities. Then the one after that, it's art, and artistic endeavor. He means something different by each of those. So there's spiritual work, there's artistic work. Those are higher level forms of work than what I do, or organizational life, or anything else. The first thing is to determine which one of those fits you. They're determined by the language that you work to achieve things. That gets really difficult because I can't tell you what the answer is. You have to discover it yourself. Even if I did tell you the answer, you're still going to have to discover it yourself, because that's how this works. Once you discover what work level you're at and what the domain is and your work language that you use, you're confronted with a lot of fear. And it can be negativity too. I mean, it can be very discouraging for you to have this knowledge. The second thing that's going to come up is that you need to do something. You might not, you might just stay where you are, and hey, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to do something new and you want to get out of underemployment, you're going to have to find a challenge, and the challenge is a creative challenge. I can't tell you what that is either, because the challenge is personal to what you want, who you are. Well, yeah, I mean, it's personal to you. My challenge won't be your challenge. It'll be something different. But it has to be something which is big enough and a right fit for you. And by having the challenge and discovering the challenge, it will create fear. There's no way around it. You're going to actually have to, what he calls, activate courage in order to tolerate the level of fear that is going on in your world with this challenge. The fear's just there. People who have a challenge which is big enough don't get out of the fear. The next thing that you're going to have to do is, after you've activated the fear, you're going to have to activate positivity. You're going to have to also reject the negativity which inevitably comes and embrace your own positivity. What does that look like? Hey, it's different to every situation. It's different to each challenge. That's kind of the problem with the truth, is that there's no easy way. I can kind of give you truth for each work domain, but there are 7 of them. So, yeah, I know, I only gave you 6, but there's one before that called family life. We all work in there. That's how you do it. The first step is to find your challenge. You know you're underemployed. Why are you underemployed? That has to do with who you are, not the market and everything. And then what's your challenge? And the challenge has to be something which actually motivates you, not me. That's it. pretty simple. It takes a huge amount of unpacking to get there. But if you wanted to get out of underemployment, that's what you're going to have to do. If you're hitting high potential, you're going to have to discover why you were underemployed. What does that really mean? What are you missing? Then the next thing you're going to have to do is find your challenge. Remember, it's all because you're the killer app. I'm Forrest Christian, and I will be seeing you later.